Due to Australia's Indigenous people and their languages, as well as the nation's history of European colonisation, the land down under has been blessed with a lot of strange sounding town names. So today, let's dive into some of the weirder sounding names the land of Oz has to offer us. My name is Patrick, and this is 5 weird Australian town names explained. And like last time with England, let's stick to just the odd sounding ones as opposed to the rude sounding ones. Try and keep this one a bit kid friendly, shall we? Because oh man, Australia has some really rude sounding place names, and I've had to admit quite a few of them to say the least. Let's kick things off with the town of HUMPTY, found in Australia's Northern Territory. It's actually fairly easy to explain where this name came from, as the town was simply named after a nearby cattle station called HUMPTY. What's trickier to explain is how this cattle station got that name. There are all kinds of theories about how this name truly came to be. One of the most popular theories that comes from the old phrase of Humpty Doo, with this meaning being all confused and turned around. Like basically, if you're in a bad state of being, you could describe yourself as being a bit Humpty Doo. I can just imagine old Victorian people being like, "Oh, I'm all Humpty Doo." We should bring that phrase back. I'm going to start referring to myself as Humpty Doo. Like my life just feels a bit Humpty Doo at the moment. I guess I'm sure. I'm not sure yours might as well, but fingers crossed you aren't feeling as Humpty Doo as I am, or lots of other people are in this current state of being. Gosh, this is like a therapy session. Let's carry on. Why this cattle station could have been named after this phrase, however, we don't seem to be too sure. Perhaps the cattle station got itself into a bad state, aka it was a little bit Humpty Doo unto itself. But other theories on the name have it coming from the term umpty, which was slang for a dash used in Morse code. Why it would be named after that, I don't know. Maybe they're doing like Morse code from here and it was just being used as a dash. That's my own theory, however. Or it could potentially come from an unknown Aboriginal term. Or it might just be a corruption of two humps, as in like two hills in the land or something, like two Humpty, Humpty two, Humpty Doo. That's another theory on this name. But while we don't know the exact origin of this name, we know for sure it's a pretty strange one. Next up, we have the village of Banana in Queensland. Now, despite Australia being a nation in which bananas are grown quite a bit, in fact, their banana growing capital is Queensland, where this town is. Banana isn't named after bananas. Well, it actually is named after a banana, just not the fruit of bananas. Banana is supposedly named after a young bull who once lived in this area, who was called Banana. I've said banana too many times, it just sounds weird. I mean, the word sounds weird anyway, but it sounds extra weird to me right now. This bull was dun in colour. Dun is this blacky, goldeny, yellowy, browny kind of colour that animals can appear in. I imagine this bull was called Banana because of this coloration. I imagine it's not exactly the same colour as a banana, but close enough, I suppose. And also, if you have an actual banana that is like a dun colour, don't eat it. Just there's a little tip for you guys. Don't eat weird browny, goldeny bananas. Eat a golden banana, it might give you superpowers or something, I don't know. But anyway, clearly this bull named Banana was quite a big deal once upon a time. So much so that this entire town / village was named in his honour. You know, I should do an entire video on towns named after specific animals. If you want to see that, like, let me know please, because I think there are some other ones out there. Go leave some other ones down in the comments, thanks. Before we continue, I want to say a huge thank you to my most recent patrons. So thank you to new patrons CDB at Patron and Jared Nakase, apologize for pronunciation there. Patreon is the best way to financially support Name Explain, and donating just $1 a month gets you ad-free videos, a chance to say what names get explained, an exclusive monthly newsletter, and your name at the end of these videos. All of that can be found at patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below. Conversely, if you want to just make a one-time donation, you can leave a super thanks directly in the comment section of any of my videos here on YouTube. They help out tremendously too. Thank you. Anyway, carrying on, we have the town of Weewa in New South Wales. Weewa definitely sounds a bit strange for a town name, like something a kid would shout while going down a slide or something. But you know what? I actually feel a little bit mean calling this one weird. While it might sound weird to English speakers like myself, to the Kamilaroi, the people whose language this name comes from, it probably sounds pretty normal. I'm sure they're bemused and confused by some of the names we have for places in England too, which sound pretty normal to us. Anyway, As it's from Aboriginal roots, it means that this one isn't named after a famous cow or anything like that. The name simply means in the Kamilaroi language a place for fire or something along those lines. I imagine once upon a time, these guys knew that this was a good place for fire. It was lit. Do people even still say lit anymore? I don't know, I remember it being trendy, and is it still trendy? Let me know down below if people are still referring to things as lit. Like, yeah, that was lit. This place was lit. I don't know, I must sound like such an old man right now. Continuing on, we have the town of Useless Loop in Western Australia. This one is particularly interesting because Useless Loop is actually a company town. Meat was established as a place for workers of a specific company to live in. The company in this case being the Solar Salt Operation, set up by Shark Bay Resources. The loop in this name relates to a looping road that goes around this town. I guess this road was created to move resources around for the workers. This loop definitely serves a purpose. So why is it called Useless? Well, the useless in this name didn't originally relate to this looping road, but instead related to its harbour. When French explorer Henri Louis Deslocus de Fréchant, yeah, we're not doing another take of that one, came across this area, he felt that the harbour area had potential, but the sandbar in its way made it fairly useless. So he named the area Useless Harbour, or whatever that is in French. Though of course, people eventually overcame this sandbar, and this place is now far from useless. And finally, we have POOWONG in Victoria. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to touch on the ruder sounding names, but come on, we're all grown up enough to not giggle at Putong, aren't we? Putong. Great. Anyway, like with Weewar, this is another case of a name sounding rude to English speakers, but making sense to its native inhabitants. We don't seem to know what exact Aboriginal language this name comes from, but we know that it means carrion. Carrion is a term for dead flesh, linked with vultures and what they enjoy eating. Not the nicest of terms to say the least. I imagine this was once a place many animals ended up dying, making for tasty treats for the nearby birds and such. Imagine living somewhere named after the flesh of a dead animal. While this name might sound weird, its meaning might be even weirder. And that's 5 weird Australian town names explained. Let me know about any other weird Australian town names I might have missed out on. Also, please suggest some subject areas down below, which we could cover in next Monday's 5 Names Explained video. It could be about literally anything, and the subject area can be as niche or broad as you like. I will then choose 3 of those subject areas and place them in a poll exclusively for my patrons to vote on. Then the winner from that poll will be the subject area covered in the next 5 Names Explained video. You can vote in that poll, as well as enjoy many other great benefits by visiting patreon.com/nameexplain, which will be linked down below, and by donating just $1 a month. Thank you. Anyway, that's more than enough for myself. Don't forget to go follow me on Instagram where I'm NameExplainYT, and don't forget to go join the Facebook group Friends of Name Explain, where you can chat with myself and many other name nerds. Okay all, take care. Cool. Some of the weirdest sounding names in the land... I went wrong. Banana isn't... Well, I went wrong. I put an S in there by accident, almost read it. Banana... Let's carry on. Named after a young bull who once... So close. It's a bit... This isn't going well. Bananas. I'm going bananas saying this, Amber. Oh my gosh, okay, right. Bananas aren't named after banana. I said, but this isn't going well. You know, I should probably do an entire video based on... So close. This name simply means in the Kamilaroi language. I guess this road was... The animals ended up dying, making for a tasty treat. I sounded South African then, very strange. Let me know about any other weird Australian... I went full Australian just then. Let's do that again. Cool, done. Yeah, I think we're done.